Good morning, everyone. Today is 8th of July and we will be discussing the Hindu. If you like this initiative, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. On the front news, we have a news coming from Britain. The Prime Minister of Britain has resigned amidst a political drama. One important news from geography and environmental section is coming as a report published by Center for Science and Environment. They're saying that the monsoon seasons, which is supposed to be the colder than the summer season, is even getting hotter by about 0.3 degrees Celsius. This can be a case for climate change. There are also some stats about a rising number of heat wave related deaths. You should try to find out the reasons of the heat waves, the timing of the heat waves, and the steps to reduce the deaths related to heat waves. Now, moving forward, we have a news on editorial pace, which relates to the Ukraine Russia war. The article is explaining the whole background of the Ukraine Russia war. If you do not know the background, you should go through it. It has been explained in quite details. The author is finally saying that as the polarization in the world is increasing and we have started thinking into the terms of binaries, as if there are some good people and there are some bad people, and because of this increasing binaries, it's becoming increasingly difficult to find a compromise, to find a peaceful solution for this. The editorial is about the environment, recent changes brought in environmental protection acts. Recently, government has changed the laws and has removed the provision for imprisonment in the Environmental Protection Act, and it has changed it with fine up to 1 lakh rupees. So the article is discussing what are the hits and misses and what can be the impact of such a change. This article is about the health issues, specifically mental illnesses related to LGBT community. Although this article does not go into the much details, LGBT community, their rights is very important for us for GS paper 2 vulnerable sections. But this article, as per me, does not have any important information that we can directly use in exam other than this, that the rights, the mental health of LGBT communities should be protected and steps should be taken towards that. This article is again explaining about the past of Boris Johnson, what where he succeeded and where he failed his country. This article is about the rupee slump, the free falling of the rupee in terms of the dollar. This newspaper is covering this article for quite some time now. If you have read it before, you can skip it. If you want to read it again, you can go through it once. Again, yesterday also there was an article about the bad situations of the airlines in our country. Many of the airlines are facing problems of lack of staffs. They are facing problems of expenses in terms of managing the safety of the passengers and all. And there have been increasing incidents like crack in the windshield, smoke in the cabin, etc. And in all this, the role of DGCA to manage or to control the proper conditioning of airlines is being questioned. The next article is about new car assessment program initiated by our Minister of Road and Transportation, Mr. Nitin Gadkari. The plan is to make our cars safer even during collisions so that the demand for such cars into the international market can increase and India can emerge as a global exporter of cars. The next article is about the metaverse. I hope you know what metaverse is. If you do not know, you should try to read about it. This article is simply saying that when all the big companies like Facebook, Google, or Microsoft, they're designing their own metaverses. Instead of that, they should come together and try to decide some protocols, some standards, so that all these metaverses can be accessed from one device. Like in present time, we can access internet on any device. This article is about a very specific term that UPSC has asked before in prelims: base erosion and profit shifting. If you do not know about this, you should try to read the basics of what is base erosion and profit shifting. Basically, what's happening that Vivo is saying that they are in loss in India, they're not making profits, or at least they are not disclosing their full profit in India. And through this method of base erosion and profit shifting, they are sending 50% of the profits that they're making in India to China. The next article is about central government step to promote dragon fruit cultivation. The plan is to increase the cultivation from present 3,000 hectares to 50,000 hectares in next 5 years. This fruit is a very healthy food known for its health benefits. The best thing about this is that it can be grown in the areas which are water deficient, and they bring a good value to the farmers as well. So moving forward, recently our Prime Minister has addressed new a summit on new education policy known as Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Sangam. So this new education policy, which was formed after the 30 years of the last education policy, is very important for our exam, and you should try to read about this new education policy in detail. The next article is about Chhattisgarh borrowing money from the World Bank to finance its school projects. So, as we know, that state governments cannot borrow from the international market without the approval of the central government. So now central government has given an in principle approval, and Chhattisgarh now can borrow money from World Bank for their school project. On the world page, we have an article about Iran and UK. Iran was sending missiles to Yemen. Iran is known for supplying weapons money to many of the rebel groups like Houthis to get engaged in a proxy war with Saudi Arabia, and this shipment was seized by UK. On the economic page, RBI is now trying to take measures to stop the decline or free fall of rupee. And one way to do that is invite more foreign currencies in our country to stop the outflow and increase the inflow of overseas fund. And in order to do that, government has increased the limit of external commercial borrowings from 750 million per financial year to 1.5 billion dollars. This news is about the budget. In budget last this year, Nirmala Sitaraman has made an announcement that 1 lakh crore will be given to the states for their capital investment. So for that, 80,000 crores has been earmarked, has been reserved to be given to the states. That's the newspaper today. We will meet again tomorrow and we will continue our discussion. For The Hindu, please like, share, and subscribe the channel.